Well, this is an honor and a pleasure. The one and only Holly Robinson-Peete. Thank you for joining us here at Chicago Kiss FM.
I'm happy to be here. I love Chicago, and I get to zoom into Chicago right now is a treat for me.
Right. We wish you could do it in person, man. But obviously, TV host, actress, singer. What title don't you have? Is there one title that you don't have? Mom, amazing mom. Like, what is something that you would like to put on your resume?
I'd like to get my master's degree in something. I've always wanted to do that. I majored in French, and I've always wanted to go back to school and get my master's. So my kids are trying to encourage me to do it. We're gonna see.
What would you get your master's in?
I don't know. Maybe French too. Maybe I take it again, a little higher level. I really don't know. I think I just want to get that next level of education. Not there yet.
It's impressive because I opted for French over Spanish in high school, and I only remember one sentence at 4 years of French, Holly. One sentence. That's so sad. Puis-je aller à la toilette?
Okay. Tu veux aller à la toilette? C'est super.
I don't know what you said.
I was agreeing that you better go to the toilet right now.
Well,
I love a foreign language, and I did a year abroad in Paris. I think that was a life changer year for me.
Was it? Yeah. What was so special? I've never been. What was so special about France? And when was that? Was this in college?
Woo! This was in the 80s. I was there from 84 to 85. I was 19, and it was just, it was just unbelievable to be there at such a young age. It was hard, but just amazing. I mean, Paris is just so dope. You just can't beat it.
That's definitely bucket list for sure.
That little 2 years of French will come back.
Oh yeah,
like riding.
If you say so. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get like one of those apps online and brush up on that. But amazing stuff. You have already came out this holiday season with The Christmas Doctor.
Right.
And there's another one coming out just a week or so. It's Christmas in Evergreens. The bells are ringing. Let's talk about it.
Well, Christmas in Evergreen, The Bells Are Ringing is the fourth installment of this movie series, if you will. I play Mayor Michelle. I'm the mayor of Evergreen, where we do Christmas better than anybody else. I love this movie because it's just, man, they should just win an Emmy for decor, art deck, set deck. The Christmas in every shot is so strategically placed and beautiful. And the little neighborhood where we shoot these movies is like a historical neighborhood landmark place, and it's just so magical. But it's about neighbors and community and getting along, and it's a really good, joyful content that I think we all need right now.
See, this is why I love it. Believe it or not, I'm a self-proclaimed bro. My fiance will agree. But yeah. I love Christmas, and I love it's weird. My friends make fun of me, but I love the Hallmark movie, 2 months of it, because it makes you feel good. It takes you back to like simpler times, and everybody's happy, and the decor, like you mentioned, I think everybody needs that.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's something about Hallmark channels. No one does Christmas, like them. There are other networks trying it, but something about Hallmark that just has that corner in the market. And this movie especially I love because it's got a great message of, letting go of the small stuff, moving on in life and knowing what to hang on to. Mayor Michelle is an extremely driven and passionate person. She gets things done, and then she hands the torch over to Hannah, played by Rukia Bernard, excellent, amazing actress. And it's super diverse, inclusive, right? Like we have every type of person in this movie. And that's what my world looks like. And that's what so many people's worlds look like. So this is awesome to have a really well-represented, inclusive movie at Christmas time. And it's something I think we just need this kind of great content right now.
So since you're playing a mayor, did any of the inspiration come from perhaps, I don't know, Chicago mayor Lori Lightfoot? Is there a little hint of that?
She's Michelle is got a little bit of Lori, a little bit of Keisha. Mm-hmm. She's got a little bit of all the amazing Black female mayors in this country right now. Like they're just pretty awesome women couple of them I've had the chance to meet. Not Lori, I would love to meet her.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think Michelle, I was inspired by those really strong, powerful, and, and some of them are moms, and
Mhm.
just, yes, the answer is yes. I
Yes.
was inspired by your
Excellent.
mayor and other mayors.
So what are some what's one holiday tradition that you and your family try to partake in each year? Let's call this non 2020 holiday tradition.
Okay, well, we would do this whether it was crazy 2020 or not.
Mhm.
But oh, sorry, hold on. Somebody's calling me to some Bill Withers. Hold on. That's the daughter. Let me turn that off.
You would have Lovely Day as like as a ringtone.
That's
It's just
my
so on brand.
jam, and Bill Withers was like
Ugh,
my heart of hearts. So I need a little bit of him every day.
that's great.
One of our favorite traditions is we write down what we're grateful for,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And then we put it in like a hat or whatever, and we pass it around, and then we read it, and you try to figure out who said it. Now, of course, I've got kids from 15 to 23, so they'll put some crazy stuff in there.
Yeah.
But I find that it's a great way to get your young kids talking. My kids sometimes don't talk at the table, to get them engaged, and then you sort of have this whole gratitude moment. And it's kind of funny, but in the end, it's a really great moment. So they used to hate when I did that, but then as they saw how it happened around the table, they love it. So we're going to be doing that this year, because we need to count our rainbows, not our thunderstorms this year. We had some tough ones.
I'm totally stealing that on Thursday because my mom has done the same thing for years, but I love the little extra twist, the little plot twist with, you put it in a hat. I mean, that just sounds fun. So I'm stealing that from you.
It's yours. It's yours.
What is it like being married to a football legend on the day of Sunday? Like what are Sundays like? Are they like normal non-NFL players where checking your phone, fantasy team and stuff like that, or is it different?
Sundays used to dictate our lives, right? I mean, Rodney played for 16 years, and it was just all football, football, football. On Thanksgiving, he played for both the Lions and the Cowboys, who traditionally play on Thanksgiving Day. I always feel like, for so many years, it was just all about football. What we're gonna do today, what time is game time, when are we gonna eat? And it still is, because even though Rodney's been retired, his brother is the running backs coach for the Cowboys. So
Right.
we still got a Pete in the business.
Mhm.
I'll tell you though, my father-in-law used to be the wide receivers coach for the Bears and for many years.
Yep.
And one year, I want to say it was around Thanksgiving or on the holidays, Rodney, who was starting for the Eagles then, played the Bears, and we had that sort of Pete versus Pete
Love
thing.
it. Yeah.
And I came to Soldier Field with some Uggs on and no socks. It's such a California thing. And when I tell you, to this day,
Yeah.
I never got the circulation back in my feet because of that Chicago Hawk my daddy used to tell me about.
It's no joke. It is no joke. Well, I'm glad that you got to get a little bit away from the football post career, but you still peek in.
Yeah.
What was it like working side by side with Donald Trump on The Apprentice?
Oh, it was really odd. I mean, it was just such an odd experience. I mean, you're not really there for a job with him. You're there to do whatever it is on your agenda. And my agenda was just to promote autism awareness. Like, that was the number one thing. And I believe back then the impressions of autism and it were just in the millions and millions. So we did that with Holly Rod Foundation.
Yep.
And then to raise funds, and I raised $600,000. But it was bizarre, and it was, bizarre to think that the guy who played our sort of fake boss with an IFB in his ear would go on to, be in like the White House. It was all very bizarre. But the good news was, I mean, I did it for autism and my charity. That was the one reason why I was there, and it definitely paid off.
Yeah, you've been an advocate for several, organizations and causes. Talk about the autism and also was it Parkinson's as well, right?
Right. My dad had Parkinson's. He was the original Gordon on Sesame Street. Some of you look a little young. You may not remember my dad, but from the beginning, the very first episode of Sesame Street, he was Gordon, introduced the world to Big Bird and Ernie and Bert and all those guys. So dope, such a great legacy. But when he was in his 40s, just his 40s, he got Parkinson's.
Wow.
And we started Hollyride along to really support families impacted by Parkinson's. And then along came RJ with his autism diagnosis. And then we expanded our mission.
Wow. That's amazing. Like to take two different, causes and branch them all into one. That's awesome. So great work.
Thank you.
Yes. Let's talk about how Hanging with Mr. Cooper might be the most underrated 90s sitcom ever.
Yo, I absolutely agree. I think we had such an impact on the 90s. I mean, a lot of people talk about, Fresh Prince and a lot of these other shows, but I feel like Cooper definitely had its slot. It's still funny to this day. Why do I know that? Because my kids actually laugh at it, and they don't laugh at anything.
Yep.
We just had a Zoom call the other night for Hollyride Foundation, and Mark Curry came on, and En Vogue was on, and they sang the original soundtrack, to the theme song for the first year. And I was, I sang that too, as well as Dawn Lewis. We had this big Zoom reunion with Mr. Cooper, En Vogue. It was so amazing. So for years, I've been trying to get Warner Brothers to reboot it. I think we are totally rebooting material, don't you?
I was just going to say, I was watching the Halloween episode a few weeks back where Omar's father comes back. Like, I forgot, like, it brought me back to, because that's what I grew up in. I grew up in the 90s. So like watching that was like so different back as a kid, and watching it as an adult, it still stands the test of time. It's just fun.
It totally does. And those characters and we just had such a great time on it too. Like, and then I got proposed to on that set. My husband proposed to me, fiance at the time. So I just have such great fond memories as well. I was watching the Fresh Prince reunion the other day, which reminds me of Cooper, because Karen Parsons, who played Hillary, is my high school girlfriend. And we used to go to each other's tapings because we were shooting at the same time.
Wow.
And so I just got the full 90s, just covered in 90s-ness the other night. I couldn't take it. I was sitting, Rodney's like, you're just literally sobbing at the TV. But I just miss the 90s. I miss the TV. I miss everything about the 90s.
Great. I love it. It was such a good decade. And speaking of En Vogue, I totally popped when En Vogue came out and performed Free Your Mind. I think it was the Billboard Music Awards, one of the award shows. They came back. They sounded so freaking good. I'm like, they need to go back on tour ASAP. And also, this song Free Your Mind is like more meaningful in 2020 than it was in like 1992.
So full disclosure, En Vogue is my favorite group, full disclosure, because one of the singers, Terry Ellis, is my best friend ever. So when we shot the Hang with Mr. Cooper theme song, that was when we met in like 92. And we hit it off, fell in love, and been best friends ever since. Yeah. And they're so good. Like, they've been touring forever. They never stopped.
Right.
But after the BBMAs, when they came out with that Free Your Mind, these girls are a certain age, right? And they came out there and shut it down. So they're like my family. I was so proud of them. They were, like, as I said, they came on for a performance for our Hollyride Foundation the other night on a Zoom call. And then the next night they were at like some drive-in theater concert in San Diego. They're doing the damn thing still. And so I love them. And make sure you check out their latest record, because they have some new music out that's really good.
Funky Divas, one of the great albums ever, especially for an all-female group at that time. There wasn't many. TLC had come along a little bit around that time, but En Vogue, man. I think my favorite En Vogue song is actually their cover of the Beatles' Yesterday.
Oh my gosh, one of the best ever. One of the best ever, yeah. They're just so good. So I like I said, I'm totally biased that she's my Terry's my best friend, but those girls still got it, man.
Love it. Yes. Well, that concludes En Vogue talk for today. Holly Robinson-Peete, this is honestly, it's been an honor speaking with somebody that I've watched on my screen for so many years as a little kid, and here you are doing amazing work. Hallmark Channel. Is it December 5th is when we can?
5th, yep. Christmas and Evergreen. And make sure to check out The Christmas Doctor. That's going to be re-airing as well on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. That movie I'm real proud of, because I co-executive produced it with Al Roker, and it just is a really sweet homage to doctors and nurses on the front lines.
Love it. Thank you so much for the time. Have a great Thanksgiving and happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Make sure you do that tradition.
I'm going to. I'm stealing it. It's all mine. All right. Thanks.
Thanks so much. Good to talk to you, Brady.
Sure.